Okay, maybe we should begin, and as people join in, they can participate. So welcome to IUFRO, and this is, as you know, it's an orientation to IUFRO and how it functions. And many of our colleagues might not be able to join also because of the time zone, the difference in the time, and some are already committed to other appointment, which is absolutely acceptable. My colleagues of the Division 6, one of whom is here, is Shri Ratan. You want to introduce yourself, just your name and your position at IUFRO?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Purabi. Hi, guys. My name is Sri Dharan from Malaysia. You can just call me Sri. I'm working as an academician in one of the universities in Malaysia. Yeah.
And Shri is deputy coordinator of the Division 6. We will also have Justin. He said he will join us. So let's hope. He is the co-coordinator of the division along with me. And then we have Eileen. She sends her regrets because she has to do fieldwork and she won't be able to join us today. Eileen is also deputy coordinator. And this is her second term as a deputy coordinator of the division. So let's see.
Hi, Purabi. I just thought I would mention that I am here. You might not be able to see me in your participants list.
Hi, Justin. So maybe you want to introduce yourself, please, while I'm figuring.
Absolutely. No problem at all. Nice to see everybody on the call. My name is Justin Morganroth. I'm an associate professor at the University of Canterbury down here in New Zealand. So I recognize a few of the names on the call. So it's really, really nice to see some friendly faces from, I guess, this part of the world and throughout some of the Northern Hemisphere colleagues as well. Very nice to see you all. So yeah, thanks, Purabi.
Great. So let's see if my PowerPoint can be shared now in a proper. So I can't see the entire list of participants in my screen. So sorry if I am not introducing each one of you, but we will have the opportunity at the end. So then we have all the office holders by then, hopefully. And I don't know what's happening here. Here you go. Okay, so welcome to the new term. And when we use the word term, it's 2024 to 2029. My name is Purabi, and as I mentioned, I am one of the co-coordinator, and I'm going to quickly run this orientation, and I hope Shri and Justin will pitch in as they see some error or I'm making some goof up. So please jump in to correct me. For those who are new to IUFRO, it's a union of more than 15,000 scientists and of about roughly 330 organizations. It's mainly research public centers and universities, and we have members across 115 countries. And IUFRO is a member of International Science Council. So as an organization, IUFRO was founded in Germany in 1892, and it has a headquarter, which is a secretariat based in Vienna, Austria, since 1973. It's a membership organization. So IUFRO has two types of membership. One is member organization, the other is individual member. When we talk about individual member, there are three categories as an individual member. One that is full member. Full members are basically who are member of the organization. So for example, if you are employed by a university, which is a member, IUFRO member organization, then you are a full member. Associate members are the one who are independent. They are not affiliated with any member, and then they are individual members. So we call them associate members. And then we have honorary members. Every 5 years, IUFRO recognizes its office holders, some of the ones, some of them who have been nominated as honorary, and then they become honorary, so then they don't have to pay any fees. What are the benefits of becoming an IUFRO member? For example, as a member, one can participate in the Congress, which holds every 4 or 5 years, eligible to serve as an office holder, which most of you are, and many are. Often not all the members are office holders. And then you receive news, events, and then, I should place this here. Announcements and publications from the IUFRO Secretariat. So one of the important aspects of this IUFRO membership is that to become an office holder, you need to be a member of one of the, either as an institution or as an associate. And it is expected that the IUFRO members kind of promote the aims and activities of the IUFRO and observe the statutes. We will run through the statutes very quickly today. And except for the honorary members, all members are required to pay subscription, and therefore annual subscriptions are important to remain as an office holder for those who are office holders. A very important point here is that IUFRO Secretariat and IUFRO divisions are two separate components. So often office holders assume this is a kind of same body, but IUFRO secretariats are paid staff, and they function at Vienna, and that's one of the body of IUFRO. While IUFRO division is another body which are made of volunteers like all of us. IUFRO executive director, such as Alexander Burke, who is executive director, they have no direct role in the management of the divisions. So the management of the division is run completely by the office holders of the division, including the co-coordinators of the division. So what's new at IUFRO in this term? It's for the first time in the history we know that IUFRO has a president, female president, Daniela Klischmidt. Sorry for my pronunciation. She is a professor of forest policy from Freiburg University in Germany. And she has, for the first time, become a female president of IUFRO in its history. There are many additional new positive changes at IUFRO, and we see that one of the positive aspect is that we have now division co-coordinators. Till now, IUFRO only had division coordinators, which means one coordinator, and from this term, we have two coordinators, and that's how Justin and I are the two coordinators. And one of the other important element that IUFRO is trying to push through is the aspect of diversity. And it means that we are trying to get as many office holders that are in the division that are representative of geographical diversity, gender, discipline, and particularly underrepresentative groups that are not yet nicely represented at IUFRO. So this opens up this aspect of bringing in new office holders at the various divisions we have. What's new at Division 6? Justin and I, we have been discussing before we took over as a role of co-coordinators, how we should try to ensure that the office holders are actively participating in the division. And one of the aspect that we agreed upon is that we would encourage office holders not to have simultaneous positions in other research groups or in other divisions. And it has helped so far, and all the office holders who are you all have accepted our suggestion. So we encourage office holders not to have more positions except one, so that you contribute more into the position that you hold. And in our division, we are trying our best to be inclusive as much as possible, though there is a hindrance that the membership fee kind of discourages us to bring in people who we would like to have in our team. But coming up this October, the management team of IUFRO is meeting, and there will be a discussion and there will be a decision of how to solve this problem, because it's not just in our division, but it runs across all the divisions of IUFRO. And IUFRO is really concerned to make sure that the membership should not be a hindrance for underrepresented groups. So here comes the IUFRO structure. And when we say talk about IUFRO structure, sorry, I'm not looking at the chat. Do you want me to see at the chat? Okay, I'll continue. If there is anything, please stop me. Just let me know. So there are 9 divisions at IUFRO. I'm not going to list them here. You are welcome to visit the IUFRO website and go through all the other 8 divisions. We are going to talk about our division number 6, which is social aspects of forest and forestry. Each division will have 2 co-coordinators representing diversity. And here, Justin and I are nicely representing the diversity in terms of global south, global north, gender, geographical background, and the discipline. And on the other hand, some of our works are also interrelated. So that also is very helpful. Then we have research groups. At present, we have 8 active research groups. So under the division, all the divisions have research groups, but the number of research groups varies between the divisions. Our research group, our division has 8 research groups active, and 1 we have kept in hibernation because we are looking for office holders, and that's landscape planning. So 8 active research groups. Then typically under research group, you will have working parties. And the working parties are, how do you assign a working party? Working parties are basically decided by the research groups. So for example, you have a research group on gender, and the topic is broad, or it cut across all global issues on gender. And then there are office holders who would like to focus particularly gender in Europe. And that's when they can suggest that, hey, but we would like, within the gender research group, we would like to create a working party, and this will focus only on gender in Europe. So that's how the research group appoints a working parties. As such, we don't have in our division any working parties, and I'll come back to it later. So basically, working party coordinators reports to research group coordinators, who in turn report to division co-coordinators. It's as simple as that. And then the division co-coordinators reports to IUFRO headquarters and the board. So working parties, as I already mentioned, it's a very specific research-related work that within the research groups. It could be on Amazon region, as we had in the earlier term, or it could be on green energy. So it depends on what working party one wants to be. So each working party again has the same constitution, such as a coordinator and 1 or more deputy coordinators who would work together as a team. So the coordinator and the deputy coordinator of the newly established working party are appointed by division co-coordinators, so that board approval is not required here. So if you have any proposal for working party, Justin and I would look at it, and we would decide on to accept or to not, for example. As such, at the Division 6, we do not have any working parties, and we are trying to avoid as much as possible to have any working parties within the research groups. Primarily because we would want the research group to focus more and to contribute more on the research dimensions. Then comes the research group. So the research group, the most important element of the research group is that it carries out research within the IUFRO. The research groups are the most important element for any division to function. And then you have coordinator and 1 or more deputy coordinators. The number of deputy coordinators is not limited for the research group. So you can have 4, 5, 10, 40, as many deputy coordinators as you want. The need for research group and working party, for example, is continuously reviewed by the division co-coordinators. So for example, if there is a need for new research group or a continuation from the previous term and for amendment, or to terminate a research group, the division coordinators, co-coordinators will suggest it to the board, and the board then can approve for whatever the decision is to be made. So the research group coordinators are appointed by the board on the recommendation of division co-coordinators. And the deputy coordinators of the research groups are appointed by the division coordinators. So when we have to appoint a research group coordinators, we have to wait for the next board meeting, because that's when the approval of the research coordinators, research group coordinators happens. There is a clause in the, and whatever I'm suggesting, it is not what I have made up, it's what IUFRO has put it down. So the one aspect here is that when research group coordinator is unable to carry out his or her duties, then the division co-coordinators will replace him or her by the deputy coordinator or another individual after consultation with the respective research group, and then get approval from the board. So the research group coordinators continuation is normally for 2 terms, but in case there are situations when they are unable to carry out the duties, then division co-coordinators will pitch in to decide who could take up that position. So normally they hold maximum of 2 terms. It starts with the end of the World Congress. So when the Stockholm World Congress ended, then the new term began, and when the next Congress will end, that is in Nairobi, 2029. The time frame is till then, so which is roughly 5 years. Now, this is a very don't get into this write-up, because I try to put in as much as possible so that those who are not able to join us, but also for your reference, to have a look at, quickly what could be the thing that research groups could do. And don't get limited with this, because what is important is you as a research group should find out a comfortable area where you all can contribute and work together. So what can you do as a research group? The biggest question is that, oftentimes what are we supposed to do as an office holder? So you can have a workshop, symposium, or conference. It could be international, regional, or local, depending on your group's need. You can, as a research group, publish a book. Either it could be a collection of papers from the Congress, or in between Congress, or just a call for a new papers from on the theme of your research group. Or you can arrange a technical journal, like a special issue. There could be also something more fun as a study tour or an exposure visit that you all can think of organizing, because each one of you come from a different institution and a different geographical background. Or you can prepare something like a webinar, like this research group will have every month or every 2 months one webinar. And either we will present ourselves as a research group office holders, or we will invite some top-notch researchers across the globe that works on our topic. So it could be anything that you want to. But what we would like to have is usually at the end of November, every November, we need some sort of annual activity report, and it has to be submitted to the co-coordinators. And once you do that, it gets used in the IUFRO annual report. So it might be too early for this term, but do remember for the next term, then all the research groups would have something to share. We have our units Twitter and LinkedIn and YouTube page. So please do share anything news that you want to share with wider audience using those units social media platforms. You can conduct joint research projects. Also, you can update your unit's website periodically, and that is the IUFRO website. So you would see the current IUFRO website is under development, under construction, and it would be, I think, ready in a couple of months. I'm looking at the time, and I still have a couple of more slides. So at the research groups, what we have done is that as a co-coordinators, we thought the best strategy for us to give full focus to research groups is, instead of both of us, Justin and I, looking at all the research groups, we kind of are trying. It's a trial to see if we can work on 4 research groups between us. So we kind of divided between the 8 research groups, and I will be the focal contact for 4 research groups: forest recreation, gender, forest education, and rural governance. And Justin will be focal contact for nature conservation, forest conflict, forestries, human health, and urban forestry. It basically means that when we are trying to help you all in developing your strategy for the next 5 years, each one of us will work with this respective research group so that we have more time, energy, and we can give focus to those particular groups rather than trying to remember what's happening in all the 8 research groups. And that's the benefit of why we have this co-coordinator position also, because it kind of divides the time that otherwise is very, very heavy for one coordinator. And that was the reason why, at the first place, co-coordinator idea was suggested and adapted. I might have already mentioned this quickly, but as a research group coordinator or a deputy coordinator, sometimes there might be a position where you find difficult to continue or have time to continue as a research group coordinator. So in that case, you have to notify to the division co-coordinators immediately. And often we find there are, after a couple of years, inactive groups. And this inactive groups is not necessarily because it's the subject is no longer important, but because the office holders may not longer have time and resources too. So as co-coordinators and as a research group, we need to figure out how to keep the research group active all throughout till the end of the term and beyond. So divisions. Oh my! I get 10 minutes now. How should I get out of this? Anyway, so the division, so the division is basically to support the researchers. I am finding this now. The division, each division may have a number of research groups. So, but in any case, what is important is that is from as a division that the maximum 2 terms can be held by the co-coordinators of the division. And if they were appointed between the Congress to fill a vacancy, then they are eligible for 2 full terms. I swear. And I can't move my, why? This is a bit strange. Let's see if I can escape. I have a few more slides about the division, and I can't stop share either. Let's see. Okay. So at the division co-coordinators, we are the voting board members of IUFRO. And then we have deputy coordinators of the division. So maximum we can have 4 deputy coordinators. As such, Justin and I have agreed that for now we would have 2 deputy coordinators for the division, and and we will see how it goes. But for now, we think we would like to work with the two deputy coordinators. The division deputy coordinators are approved by the board. So that's another aspect. And the idea is that they represent the diversity of research groups and the discipline. So what is the role of division co-coordinators? We are required to attend board meetings, identify division office holders. So for example, research group, if some research groups are struggling to find research group coordinators or deputy coordinators, we are there to kind of help you out. Coordinate division activities. So between the division, we would like to also have interdivision activities. And then encourage young scientists. So we are trying to engage more young scientists in our division along with IFSA. Then when we have somebody's mic is on, then we are basically required to represent IUFRO, and then we have newsletter communication, yearly report from the IUFRO headquarters that we are required to contribute. And then what is the role of deputy division coordinators? This is something that's not very clear at IUFRO, but at Division 6, we are trying to, generally your mic is on, sorry, thanks. So as division co-coordinators, we are trying to engage as much as possible Shri and Aline so that they become active part of our core team, and that's what we would like to do in this term. So what is the next step? We are going to have research group meetings as a kickoff meetings. Already we have began the process. And each focal co-coordinators will be facilitating this kickoff meeting. Our basic idea is to introduce you to the research groups and to help you start with strategic planning. So by end of October, we hope all research groups at least meet twice, other than the kickoff meeting, or to prepare an action plan. That would be 1-year plan as well as the 5-year plan. And what would be the proposed outputs, short-term and long-term. And then we expect you to submit by mid-November your plan to us as a to the co-coordinators. And the step 2 would be to email us about your, basically you work with your research group and prepare a updated version of your unit. So if you go to IUFRO website, you would see about unit. So go through that and try to update it and try to make it something that is more relevant for your unit research group, rather than copy and paste the same old unit description. So we highly recommend you to go through the unit website and try to update it. Think in terms of writing for external audience. As of now, I am continuing to be the editorial for the newsletter. So you will soon hear a newsletter call. So do respond to it. And at the same time, I will quickly mention that we are thinking of using it as a rotation basis. So each research group might want to take up one newsletter. So two newsletters from 2 research groups in a year. So for detailed information, you can go through all these websites, web pages at the IUFRO site. And some of the key messages is, whenever you're in doubt, please get in touch with the division co-coordinators and the IUFRO secretariat. Try to be active in responding to the emails, because that's the most important essential core of how we can help each other in building the group and building the division. Communicate, do keep the co-coordinators of the division informed, even if you are communicating with the IUFRO headquarters. As I mentioned, these are 2 separate entities, and often one assumes that when you send a message to the headquarters, we would be automatically informed, but we are not. So do keep us in CC if there are some news that you're sharing. And do try to share, contribute to the IUFRO Division 6 newsletter. That's it. Thanks a lot. And welcome again. I don't see we would have much time beyond 2 minutes, but then I can stop sharing and I can see some of you all. Yeah. Justin, you would like to have something to add or kind of?
Not really. That was extremely thorough, Robbie. I think there was a request in the chat that the slides be made available as well as the recording. I think that would be really useful. You covered quite a lot of material, so I think the office holders would really benefit from having a copy of the slides as well. Only comment is really just looking forward to working with everybody. And I think Purabi already mentioned it, but we're really focusing during this 5-year term on I guess engagement and trying to keep people involved. I've been involved in IUFRO previously. I've also been involved in a number of other sort of large organizations like this, and it's very easy to I guess get overwhelmed with possibly the amount of work that you perceive you have to undertake, and as a consequence, perhaps not be involved as you'd like to be. If that does arise, I just recommend you have a conversation with either Purabi or I, just to sort of, I guess, set your expectations correctly. We don't want to create huge workloads for people. We just want people to remain engaged. So let's just keep the lines of communication open, as Purabi says, and yeah, looking forward to the next 4 or 5 years.
Thank you so much. And with this, we are almost running out of my free Zoom time. So this is not the only time we will meet together. So we look forward to have more meetings, and then we would try to give a platform to you all to introduce yourself and to share your work. By then, you will already have some strategy plan to share your work. So look forward to have a more larger group meeting sometime soon. So have a wonderful day, and thanks again for joining. And it will be shared, the video and the PowerPoints, with everyone. Thank you. Good day.